In order to graph the inequality, y is greater than negative 2x minus 2, we're going to use the slope-intercept form method. The slope is the number in front of the x, which is the rise over run. So negative 2 is our slope. Since we want it to be in fraction form so that we have a number for the rise and a number for the run, we're going to write negative 2 as negative 2 over 1, which means we're going to rise negative 2, or go down 2, and run 1. Negative 2 is the y-intercept. Y-intercept is always where x equals 0, so we'll have the point 0, comma, negative 2. We can graph both of these points on a y-axis and x-axis for our coordinate plane. We start with the y-intercept, which is at the point 0, comma, negative 2, and then we'll use our slope to go down 2 and over 1 to find our next point. Before we go any farther, we have to remember the rules for inequalities. We have an inequality which is greater than. Y is greater than negative 2x minus 2. Since we don't have the or equal to, we're going to make this a dotted line. And since it's greater, we're going to shade above that dotted line. So when we go to graph the line through the 2 points, we're going to make this a dotted line, and we're going to shade above that line since it was greater than. Our next example, we're going to graph the inequality negative x plus 2y is greater than or equal to negative 2. Before we can graph this, we want to solve for y, which means get the y by itself by adding x to both sides and then dividing by 2 on both sides so that we have y is greater than or equal to 1/2 x minus 1. Now we're going to find the slope and the y-intercept again. The slope is the number in front of the x, which is the rise over run. In this case, we have a rise of 1 and a run of 2. The y-intercept is the negative 1 at the end. The y-intercept is always where x equals 0, so we have the point 0, negative 1. We're going to graph these two on our coordinate plane with our x-axis and y-axis. We're going to start at the point 0, negative 1, and then use our slope to go up 1 and over 2 to find another point. Before we graph anything farther, we have to look at our inequality. We're going to go to the inequality where we've already solved for y. Y is greater than or equal to 1/2 x minus 1. Since it is a greater than or equal to, we're going to use a solid line, and greater means we're going to shade this in above the line. So when we go back to our 2 points, we're going to make a solid line through those 2 points and then shade above since it is greater than.